I am trying something new and I'm pretty excited about it. Can't wait to share it with you. I have taken my studio practice, my painting practice, into the kitchen and I wanted to show you how it looks. So check it out. I have a tabletop easel and I have put it on my kitchen counter and I have a very limited palette. I think maybe 6 colors. They're all non-toxic colors. They're all oil paints, and I'm using zero um, thinner or Gamsol or anything. And so it's a purely oil practice here. Um, when I needed to thin the paint, I'm using oil. So the kind of rules that I have set up for myself are I have to really limit the time that I have to even paint. So I'm giving myself half an hour, let's say, and I think that I completed this painting in 30 minutes. And it is sped up, I think, double time so that you can see the whole process in this shorter video. And my goal is to respond to the colors that are here and the shapes, but I'm not trying to match everything exactly, especially with such limited time. But and in a couple of cases, you'll see I kind of take some liberties, especially with the counter color, the color of the black countertop. Um, this food I didn't set it up, I just set it on the counter because what I'm going to do is take these leftover grilled vegetables, and behind that, I don't know if you can see, but there's some grilled corn on the cob in a big Ziploc baggie. And I wanted to make a grilled corn salad from them. And then just basically use up stuff from my fridge before going back to the market tomorrow. So um I think this is going to be a really delicious salad. But anyway, I was setting out all these ingredients, and I thought, this looks really good. Guess it's time to pull out my pull out this easel. So I did, and I already knew I was going to do this. What I'm painting on is Arches oil paper, so that it can handle the oil paint. And so my idea was that I would have a lot of paper on hand and that this would become kind of a hopefully like a daily practice, as I am doing a lot of really whole food kind of cooking right now. And so lots of beautiful ingredients. And I feel so grateful that I have ingredients to cook with. So this painting practice is a way of appreciating the abundance of vegetables and fruits at this time of year, and that I am able to afford them, and that I am able to cook for my family. And really, so I guess it's kind of a gratitude practice, an appreciation for the beauty that I see, and also an exercise in speed, because I don't want to spend too much time on this and not have time to cook it, if you know what I mean. So I thought it'd be fun to also show the process of making a salad as well. So you get to see that too after I finish the painting. Um, all right, so the non-toxic pigments that I have chosen for this painting are Indanthrone Blue, let's see, is a Hansa Yellow Light and Hansa Yellow Deep, Quinacridone Magenta, Titanium White, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that's 5 pigments, not 6. Anyway, and my thought is I could make any of the colors that I needed using those pigments, and yeah, that seemed to work out pretty well. I really loved the fact that I didn't have to be too terribly accurate when I did this, and my intention was that at the end of it, that you would have a sense that you were looking at bowls and whatever, food, um, but that it wouldn't be too, it wouldn't spell it out too much. And I think I think that's pretty much what happened. It's pretty rough and um expressionistic. I don't know. Like it makes me think of, it's definitely not a detail oriented painting. It's just a sketch. But even so, like if you saw it in person, you would see that it's um just quite raw. But that is very in line with how life is these days anyway. This project of taking the painting practice into the kitchen has been kind of an epiphany for me. It feels like for a good portion of my life, my painting practice has been a separate thing. Um, Not necessarily an escape from my life, but sometimes actually, yes. Sometimes it's like, here's my boring part of my life, and then here's my conceptual brain doing things that are kind of just about themselves, paintings that are about color and form and shape. And I really enjoyed that. But I don't know, right now it feels like, how cool is it that I could use this thing that I love to do as a kind of, as a lens of observing what's going on in my life in a sort of day-to-day way. And the truth is that I'm in the kitchen a lot lately, and I am definitely not complaining about it. I feel like, I don't know, like it's an honor, like it's a privilege to be able uh, to have this time to cook for these people who I love so much, and that I can try to make healthy food feel compelling enough to eat compared to junk food. So, I mean, I'm experiencing moderate levels of success, I guess. But I'm also hoping that we can save money by um, me doing a lot of the cooking also, because if I put my energy into this with lots of enthusiasm, then maybe we'll be less inclined to go out as often because I'll be making festive food at home or something. And so somehow, like I have it in my head that this focus on cooking will lead to us eating in a more healthful way and saving money. And then if I can integrate it with painting, I don't know, like it just has so many possibilities, and I really don't know where I'm headed with this at all, with this idea. But I have to say that it feels like maybe one of the most authentic art ideas that I've ever had. This is so freaking me. It is so me to paint food. Can I tell you? I have been interested in art that relates to food since I was a child. If you were around in the 80s, do you remember this food photographer? His name was Edward Pardee, and he would do these photos of fruit with another fruit inside of it, and they were called Incredible Edibles. Anyway, I was obsessed with these photographs, and I could stare at them for an extremely long time, and they just inspired my imagination. And there was also, my mom had purchased a couple of paintings from a coworker of hers, and I believe her name was Debbie Sacamano. And um, we had a couple of her paintings, and one of them was just from the breakfast table, some fried eggs, maybe some bacon, and a luminous glass of orange juice. And I loved looking at it. That one, plus another one with I think some, what are those chocolates called where there's a cherry inside and the liquid comes out? What are those? Cherry cordials? Anyway, a painting of that as well. And so she would do watercolor and then outline it with a micron pen. And so it almost looked like it was, comic vibes, but not quite. It was her own special look. And I know that's the first time that I ever bought micron pens was after first seeing this artwork. Um, and my mom generously got me some um, Dr. P.H. Martin's watercolor, and I think it was after seeing those paintings. And then I don't think it was a micron pen. I think it was called a rapidograph pen. Anyway, I'm very much digressing, but the point is I was really into food paintings and food art when I was a kid. And that's also because I was really into cooking when I was a kid. Um, and I was very often reading cookbooks for pleasure when, I don't know, I was 9 or 10, and making dinner for the family, trying out new recipes. And yeah, that just continued on for the rest of my life. Um, and here we are. So, the salad that I'm making with the grilled corn is not a recipe, it's just uh, me trying to use up a bunch of stuff. But I know it will taste good because I have made lots of salads in my life. So we're nearing the end of this painting, and I loved how it turned out. I loved that it took half an hour. And what I tried to do when I was setting this whole setup up was to try to squeeze out just the right amount of paint so that I would not have any left over, because I would want to fully clean up after working and uh, and have a completely clean palette when all was done. Because if I want this to be a sustainable practice, it would need to be um, sustainable in all the different ways. So yeah, here they are. Here's what they looked like next to each other. There's that corn in a baggie hiding there. You can't even tell what it is, but it's a little oblique looking even when you look at it in the video. So I really liked how this turned out. It's definitely not the way that I usually paint, I guess, but yeah, it worked. So I did have some paint left over, and I used it to tone another piece of paper. And look, I also tracked paint onto the carpet that was right next to the kitchen. So we had to um, do carpet cleaning. So turns out it took me longer to clean up after the painting than it took to do the painting itself. Like, I wasn't planning on doing some carpet cleaning today, and I'm very grateful to my husband for finishing that while I made this salad. Um, so my theories about something like a corn salad are: you need to make sure that you have something that's crunchy. And so I don't usually put carrots um, into a salad like this, but there weren't enough crunchy aspects, and I think I was out of celery, but it wound up actually tasting very good. And these were carrots from a nearby farm, so they're especially good. I didn't put all of the carrots into the salad. I think I just put this one carrot in there, and then I prepped the other ones to make them easier to reach into the fridge and grab, so that perhaps, I mean, just perhaps, somebody who's walking into the kitchen wanting something crunchy might grab a carrot instead of chips. I don't know. Like, it could happen. I mean, it happens with me sometimes, especially if there's like hummus or cottage cheese in there. Um, so yeah, so I just went ahead and prepped those and had those ready to go for the fridge. Then I'm selecting certain parts of the grilled vegetables that I think will work with this salad. So basically, all the bell peppers and the grilled onion, and I saved the squash and zucchini and the mushroom for um, maybe a side dish for lunches. I had some today for lunch with my um, leftover sausages from just get to know me and what I ate, you know? Anyway, um, what was I going to say about all this? Yeah, so you need to have something crunchy. I liked that it seems to me like peppers, chili powder and peppers taste so great with corn, being New World vegetables and grains. I guess peppers are technically a fruit, aren't they? Anyway, um, and onions. Really, you want to. I feel like every salad, I want to have some kind of allium in there, whether it's a green onion or red onion or even garlic in the salad dressing. I really like what onions and garlic bring to a salad. Oh, or shallots too. That's pretty good. Um, and then let's see. I also like to have something herby if I can, and in this case, it's just going to be some parsley. But also, what would have been good in this would be dill or perhaps basil. Um, but that is not what I had on hand at the moment. So check out this thing. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I also put some fresh red onion in there as well. So you get the sweet grilled part, and then you also get the pungent raw part. And I try to make my red onion in my salad be very, 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 very small so that it's not too overwhelming. Um, and then, oh yeah, so check this out. This is my uh, trick that I just made up the other day when I am prepping parsley. I'll hold it at an angle and then I sort of shave off the edges of the leaves. This is my way of getting rid of most of the stems. And then after that's done, I'll just grab individual parsley stems and cut off the heads of those. And it actually, I don't know, it just makes it a lot quicker to do this kind of sideways shaving thing. And I've never run this by any of my chef instructors or, professional people before. Um, but I'm not super patient and I don't mind having a few stems here and there. So this worked out really well. Now, ideally, I'd be saving the leftover stems and putting them into a chicken stock later on. Unfortunately, I was spacing out and I forgot to do that. Okay, then look, you put it into a little ball, like really tight little ball, and then you cut this very, very finely. And this is like a really easy um it's like a shortcut for making sure that you get your entire parsley um chopped, minced, whatever. And then you do this rocking back and forth thing after that. So I didn't need it to be like a chiffonade or anything really tiny. I just wanted to make it equally distributed around the salad. So then I needed to make a dressing. So it's usually 2 parts of an oil to 1 part of an acid, and depending on how acidic something is, but that's generally what I do. And so I will mix up the acid and whatever flavor compounds first, and then I will whisk in the oil. So I decided to put in some cumin, which I think tastes very good with corn. And then as I was shaking it out, this is like a new bottle that I got as a gift. So I was like, oh shoot, that's whole cumin. So I took my, okay, is it a pestle or a mortar? I guess, yeah, what is the stick part of a mortar and pestle? Anyway, I crushed them a little bit. And then I also received that chili. That's kind of like uh it's only slightly spicy. It's pretty good. And then I'm using sherry vinegar, and I like that because it's got that sort of Spanish feeling. And of course, salt. I put too much in my hand, so I had to set aside the rest of it. And pepper. And I also like to put a little bit of Dijon mustard into my dressings because it acts like an emulsifier. It helps the vinegar and the oil kind of stay stabilized and mixed together. So yeah, that's how it's done. Oh yeah, and I added some garlic. And if you don't like garlic to be too strong, you could have like had that sit in the vinegar for a while, and it would mellow out the garlic. But I did not do that because I did not need to mellow out the garlic. I needed the garlic to be unmellow. So this was probably about a total of less than, it took about the same amount of time to make the salad as it took to paint the painting. So each one took about half an hour, I guess, total. And the salad turned out really delicious. I gotta tell you, I recommend it. Um, it's a real nice side to some grilled chicken or yeah. You know, it might even be good like on a piece of grilled bread. Are you a fan of food specific art as well? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for being here. See you soon.